Castle Dimitrescu is one of the first areas you'll visit in Resident Evil Village, one where you'll be spending a lot of time as you try to escape its puzzling halls. And while we are well aware that many of you can't get enough of the 9-foot-tall vampire mom, eventually you're going to find it hard to escape the castle with her gutting you over and over again. Much like Resident Evil 7's Jack Baker, or Mr. X in the Resident Evil 2 remake, Lady Dimitrescu is an unstoppable force that will hound you all throughout the castle. Thankfully, we've got a few tips on how to avoid, or, if things go totally sideways, escape from, the evil giantess and her daughters in Resident Evil Village.
Ungrateful, selfish wretch! You come into my house!
After you arrive in the castle and first meet the lady and her daughters, only one of the 3 buzzing vampire girls will chase you through the rooms around the main hall. Unlike Lady D, you won't be able to hear them coming. The moment you notice insects start buzzing around you, it's time to run away, since just being near them will slowly drain your health, and shooting them now doesn't really have any effect. So don't waste your ammo. Luckily, they don't move very fast, and lose interest after you put a room or 2 behind you. It's not until you reach Lady Dimitrescu's chambers above the courtyard that she'll begin to hunt you in earnest. Unlike Jack Baker or Mr. X, your weapons have pretty much no effect on Lady D, and will barely even stun her for a short period. Occasionally she'll pause to shrug off some bullet casings, but it's best not to rely on this to slow her down. She occasionally pauses for a brief moment after extending her claws before performing a lunging swipe attack, but that can deal major damage. So your best use of that time is gonna be to duck around a corner, or otherwise out of her line of sight. Her massive size can be a problem if you take a wrong turn, so always be sure to plan ahead by checking your map to plan an escape route. If you get caught on the balconies above the main hall or opera hall for instance, it's hard to slide past her without taking a lot of damage. So make sure she's nowhere in sight before exploring narrow, dead-end hallways. Since running is always the best option, it's good to know where to run to if you need a quick breather from her relentless pursuits. Thankfully, there are several areas she's not fond of going to that you can take advantage of, the main one being the merchant's room where the Duke resides. It's a great spot to plan your next move. Even if she's still wandering around near the main hall outside, you can take the side passage near the entrance hall to slip past her. In a pinch, you can also duck into the wine room above the main hall. She also doesn't like going near any rooms leading down to the dungeons, so she won't enter the kitchen or the upstairs dressing room, and she'll stay out of the Hall of Ablution next to her quarters. Certain mask rooms are also places she'll avoid, like the Hall of Pleasure, and she'll steer clear of the library and Hall of Joy, at least until you've claimed the Mask of Joy. After that, she'll have no problems chasing you through there, but will always stop at the atelier where her portrait room is, and she won't follow you onto the rooftops. Apparently, it turns out you must be this short to ride the lift. When she's not actively pursuing you, the towering vampire usually patrols the upper and lower main hall, as well as the opera hall and adjoining rooms, making it difficult to stay hidden for long. Her footsteps don't echo as much as Mr. X's did, but she will very boldly announce herself when she spots you, giving you a heads up that it's time to get moving.
See, there you are.
If you've got her on your tail but really need to find a way to keep moving while juking her, the best spots are usually the corridors around the main hall, the stairways around the opera house, and the wide open courtyard. Just be sure to take out any enemies who appear around here first. Her wide swings leave you with little room to run past her, but you can block some of her attacks. Even so, it's better to take longer side passages or put a barrier between you, and hope her claws can't reach. You should also be wary of spending too much time in the main hall, as there's always a chance both Lady D and one of her daughters will ambush you around the same time, which is a tag team you absolutely want no part of. Luckily, her daughters never travel farther from the main hall than the dining room, preferring to stick to the west side of the castle.
Done it by the likes of you!
For more information on how to survive Castle Dimitrescu and its creepy village, be sure to check out our 13 Essential Tips video and our wiki guide. For everything else, stick with IGN.